going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm rich.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Made it to the end of yet another work week. Hopefully you guys have some fun weekend plans. Hopefully. I've got an announcement for tomorrow. I will be joining Team Skeptic on his stream tomorrow night. He's actually going to be live streaming. So that is, well, it's supposed to be happening tomorrow night. I don't have a time yet, but keep a lookout for that. That's going to be fun. But also because I'm streaming tomorrow night, I'm going to be taking Sunday night off for date night instead of tomorrow night. So, yeah, I'll announce that later in the stream. That just came to my head when I was talking about the weekend plans. So, yeah, that's happening. What else? Don't really have anything else. You guys want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. Let's watch some court. What's on my docket? I've got a sovereign citizen from Judge Shackelford. That's actually what we're starting off with. Then I've got some fun traffic court with Judge Garcia down in Texas, where we got a lot of some not so bright people down in Texas in traffic court, it seems. And then we finish with a case out of Ohio. So that is on the docket tonight. Let's do it. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
And we have a charge of speeding of 11 to 15 over. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Has an offer been made on that, Mr. Zick?
No discussions have, no discussions have been.
And we have a charge of speeding of 11 to, sorry, go ahead. No discussions?
No discussions.
Would you like to have discussions with him regarding that civil infraction?
Yeah, I would like it dropped.
Okay. Well, I don't know that he's doing that, but he might offer you a reduced ticket with no points. I mean, I don't know that he will. I don't know what he'll offer you, but there could be a reduction. Do you want to discuss that possibility with Mr. Zick?
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay, I'll let the two of you discuss that. And I did receive your filing. I'm reviewing it now.
Okay.
And so if that's what you're intending to put on record, it is officially part of the court file.
Okay.
So we don't need to do it orally because it's part of the file.
All right.
Okay? All right, I'll let you two talk and I'll see you back in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
On record, were you two able to have discussions?
We had the discussion, Your Honor, but we're unable to reach a resolution.
Okay, so was an offer made?
Yes.
Okay, can you just tell me what the offer
Oh,
was?
yes, Your Honor. The people offered to reduce the charge of speeding 11 to 15 over to a double parking.
All right, and Mr. Page, you understand that's a civil infraction, has a fine of 165, but it doesn't have any points on your license.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying. that is generally what most people get when they get a reduced charge, especially when it comes. I mean, this is actually it's an informal hearing, but take the deal, man. Again, unless you're absolutely sure and you can prove that you didn't speed, there's no reason to pass up a moving violation to a non-moving violation. Just saying. All right, we're already doing great here.
And you've rejected that offer?
I have.
Okay. All right, so we're proceeding with our hearing then.
Thank you.
Mr. Page, is there something you want to, if you're just going to read me a giant sovereign citizen objection to my jurisdiction, I'll give you 2 minutes to put whatever you want to put on record, and then we're proceeding with the hearing. Fair?
Don't I have the right to be heard lawfully?
Well, you have the right to ask questions to the witness.
Okay.
And to, make any arguments you want to the court.
Right.
But as far as jurisdictional arguments, the court does have jurisdiction.
Okay, is this court operating in administrative or judicial law?
I'm not participating in this, sir.
Well, I would.
Well, this is a court of law.
I would have to know because there's no injured party in this case. So
There doesn't have to be.
There does, in order to set bond against me, there has to be an injured party.
Okay. Anything else? I am operating under the laws of the state of Michigan and the Michigan Constitution. And that's the information that I'm willing to provide. And
Okay.
and I'm certain you're aware of that, sir. You've lived in the United States for your life.
And I'm also aware that I have the right to freely travel at my own vehicle
Correct.
that I maintain and take care of. There was no injured party. I was not engaged in commerce or commercial activity.
Okay, well, they can get tickets too for speeding.
I'm protected under the Constitution. Speed limit's not law. The Constitution says that.
Actually,
The speed limit
The
is statute,
state's-
code, and ordinance.
correct. Statute and ordinance, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So how could I be charged if we're operating under this type of law and no injured party? This-
Well, your
Is that-
federal right to travel under the or the federal constitution doesn't mean that you're not subject to regulatory. I mean, do we not have to get driver's licenses? Do we not have to get car insurance? Do we not have to follow basic speed laws? I mean, you can have a constitutional right with limits and, or regulatory provisions or statutory provisions. The right to drive is not written in the Constitution. The right to travel is.
Yeah, and I made that clear to the officer that I was traveling. I wasn't driving. I have that.
Were you in a
I have
car?
that on film too.
So were you in a car?
Yes, I was.
All right, you were operating a motor vehicle. And were you in the city of Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry to tell you, Mr. Sovereign Citizen, she just talked you into jurisdiction. That's exactly what it is. Good job. So you don't even know what just happened, but she just proved jurisdiction. Good job, buddy. Good job.
I wasn't operating a motor vehicle though. I was traveling freely down the road.
In a motor vehicle.
That I maintain and take care of myself. That's my property.
Okay. I understand that. That doesn't affect this. I mean, you were driving a car in the city of Taylor. Yes. Okay. And that's why we're here.
Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, people would waive opening at this time would be prepared to call their first witness when you're ready.
Okay. Call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we call Corporal Billy Schillenberg to the stand.
Thanks, Derval.
Okay, officer, if you can come on up to the witness stand.
Thanks, Derval. I appreciate the 5 months. That is awesome. Thank you.
Raise your right hand when you get up here. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, have a seat. Mr. Zick, your witness.
Thank you. Corporal Schillenberg, can you state your name and badge number for the record?
Corporal Billy Schillenberg, badge number is 260.
And you're employed with the Taylor Police Department?
I am.
And what's your position with the police department?
My rank is a
Nanya, that is extremely generous of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 10 new members. Thanks, Nanya. Wixom, I'm going to answer this question after this clip in between the break. I don't want to ignore it, but I'll answer it over the break.
corporal in the traffic bureau.
And Mr. Schillenberg, were you working back on November 4th of 2024 in the afternoon hours?
I was.
All right. I'm going to direct your attention back to that date and time. Can you describe to the court where you were approximately doing traffic detail on November 4th, 2024 at about 1:35 p.m. At that time?
On November 4th, 2024, approximately 1:49 p.m. I had Corporal Schillenberg sitting stationary and
Sir, you can't read off your report. You can use it if you want to use it to refresh your memory. You're free to read it, but you can't just read the report into the record.
I had Corporal Schillenberg was sitting stationary, monitoring traffic on southbound Telegraph, south of Brust Road, when I observed a silver Ford Fusion traveling faster than the vehicles around it, which time I activated my LiDAR device, which I am trained and certified to use in the state of Michigan. Pointed the LiDAR directly at the hood of Mr. Page's vehicle and received a reading of 58 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone at 694.5 feet,
Wait, say that again, 58 miles per hour. Now, what was the speed limit there?
45.
And Corporal Schoenberg, this all occurred in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne, state of Michigan?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you indicated you're certified with the LiDAR device. Can you briefly explain how that works and what does it mean when you got a reading at 694.6 feet?
So the LiDAR device, in order to operate it, you have to go through a training class to be certified to use it. When you activate or turn on the LiDAR device, it has to go through a self-inspection, and it has to pass all of these self-inspections for it to work. And that particular day, I did my self-inspection of the device, powered it on, it did pass all tests. So the way the LiDAR works is when you point the LiDAR at the hood of the vehicle, it'll give you a speed reading and a feet reading. So the feet is the distance away from where the LiDAR is to the vehicle approaching my position.
And based on the reading that you received of 58 and you were monitoring a 45-mile-an-hour zone, what did you do next?
At that time, when I got the 58 and 45, when I got the 58 and 45, set my LiDAR device down. I maintained visual sight of the vehicle that I got the reading from. When Mr. Page approached my patrol vehicle, so when I exited the parking lot, which I was sitting in.
Objection, I approached your vehicle.
All right. I think, can you just clarify when you
I
say?
never got out of my vehicle.
All right, well, let's let him clarify the answer. I took it to mean something
Sorry,
else.
Your
So
Honor.
no, you have a right to make an objection. Can you just have him clarify what he means by that?
Yes, Corporal Schoenberg, can you please clarify your last statement?
So I'm sitting on the west side of Telegraph Road, monitoring southbound traffic in a parking lot.
And that was the parking lot of Turbo Motors?
Yes.
12200 Telegraph?
Yes.
Okay.
So sitting stationary in that parking lot, when I got the reading of 58 and 45, Mr. Page was 694.6 feet away from my vehicle. So as he passed my vehicle in his automobile, that's when I exited the parking lot, pulled behind his vehicle, activated my emergency lights, and initiated a traffic stop on his vehicle.
All right. And that traffic stop was initiated in the parking lot down the road at 12510 South Telegraph?
Yes, that'd be the Enterprise.
What was it?
Enterprise?
Enterprise, okay.
And you maintained visual contact with the vehicle the entire time?
Yes.
All right. Did you at some point identify the driver of that 2020 Ford Fusion, silver in color?
I did.
All right. And just for purposes of the record, do you see that individual in the courtroom here today?
I did.
And describe what he's wearing.
Wearing a brown suit and black undershirt.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that he has identified the defendant, Zachary Ryan Page, seated at counsel table.
The record shall so reflect.
Hey, good for him for wearing a suit. I'm serious. I appreciate people when they dress appropriate to court.
Based on your reading and your observations, Corporal Schoenberg, did you then issue a citation to the defendant?
All right, so while we were on the traffic stop, I asked Mr. Page for his identification numerous times, which he refused to do so. I refused to do so. At that time, Sergeant Kish made my location. Mr. Page eventually ended up providing his driver's license to Sergeant Kish. At that time, I was able to issue him a citation for the speeding 11:15 an hour.
And when you were observing traffic on southbound Telegraph from your location at Turbo Motors, did you have were you able to maintain a clear visual of the traffic and the defendant's vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions this witness this time.
All right, Mr. Page, you have some questions for the witness? You're free to step to the podium just so the court reporter can take everything down.
No
Hey,
questions
what's up,
for the
KB?
witness.
Okay. All right, your excuse, Corporal Kish, thank you.
Corporal Schoenberg. People rested this time, Your Honor.
Wow, no questions for the officer. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that pays off.
All right, do you have anything you want to enter into the record?
I want to enter into the record that I'm here today, making special appearance under sue juris as one of the people of Michigan, not as a defendant under the jurisdiction of this court. I'm asserting my unalienable rights as secured by the Michigan Declaration of Rights under the United States Constitution, particularly under Article 1, Section 1 of the Michigan Constitution, which establishes all political power is inherent in the people. At that outset, I raise jurisdictional challenge to this court.
Your Honor, may I interrupt? And I apologize for interrupting, but Corporal Schellenberger is our traffic supervisor, and there's been an issue over the Taylor Police Department this morning. Technical
He's
difficulty.
he's free to go. Do you have any other questions for Corporal Schellenberg?
No.
All right, Corporal Schellenberg, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead, sir.
This outset, I raise jurisdictional challenge to the court as jurisdiction must be proven on the record before any further proceedings can lawfully continue.
Hey, dumbass. You already admitted to being in the city of Taylor when this infraction occurred. So good job. We knew that was going to come back up.
The separation of powers doctrine, as outlined in Article 3, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution and the Michigan Constitution, makes it clear that no branch of government may exercise the powers of another. Before proceeding, I require clarification on whether this court is operating in a judicial capacity or administrative. If this court is acting under administrative directives or executive branch policies, rather than operating as a constitutionally recognized judicial body, then it is exceeding its lawful authority. No administrative agency, including the SOS, possesses lawful authority to direct judicial rulings or override the people's due process rights. Any attempt to enforce such directives constitutes an unconstitutional exercise of power, rendering these proceedings null and void, ab initio. Furthermore, jurisdiction cannot be established by assumption, presumption, or coercion. Due process demands that I am provided with clear, lawful authority establishing the legitimacy of this court's jurisdiction over me. An individual exercising my constitutionally protected right to travel. Without such proof, this court is proceeding without lawful authority and any ruling is issued a legal nullity. I now formally demand that this court place on the record the specific constitutional authority establishing jurisdiction over me as one of the people of Michigan, the legal basis that allows this court to act under administrative directives or executive policies without violating the separation of powers doctrine, proof that I was engaged in regulated commercial activity as no jurisdiction exists, absent clear evidence that I was operating as a licensee in commerce at the time of the alleged incident. Until these fundamental issues are resolved, I will not proceed under any assumption that this court has lawful jurisdiction over me. To do otherwise would be to waive my inherent rights, which I do not consent to. I stand firmly on my right to due process, equal protection, and the supremacy of constitutional law. The burden is on the prosecution and the court to establish jurisdiction before any further action can lawfully take place.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, I heard testimony today from Corporal Billy Schellenberg. Corporal Schellenberg testified he is works the traffic bureau at the city of Taylor, and that he was in that capacity, working in that capacity on November 4th of 2024 at 1:35 p.m. approximately. He testified that this occurred within the city of Taylor, within the state of Michigan. He testified that he is trained and certified to use LiDAR devices, and that the device had been inspected.
It depends what you how you define win. SovCits have had their cases dismissed before, so you know that's technically a win from the defense. But I mean, Eric Martin just got his cases dismissed because the witnesses didn't show up. So is that a win for him? Yeah, technically it is. But he didn't win on the merits. I don't know if a sovereign citizen has ever won on any argument they've made. It's just technicalities that gets the cases dismissed. So I mean, maybe there's been one where a judge was like, "I'm not even going to hear this. Sure, whatever, go away." But I have no idea.
He explained how the device is placed at the hood of the vehicle or aimed at the hood of the vehicle, and it determines the speed in feet from the LiDAR device. He testified that at the time, I can't recall the exact number, but he was approximately 600 feet away from the driver of the silver Ford Fusion, and that he was clocked at a speed of 58 in a 45-mile-hour zone. He testified as the vehicle came towards him and passed him, he put his device down and initiated a traffic stop. The stop ultimately occurred at 12510, which is on Telegraph Road, which is the business of Enterprise. Corporal Schillingberg also identified Mr. Page as the driver of the motor vehicle, and his license was ultimately produced, and he was issued a traffic citation. The standard for these hearings is not beyond a reasonable doubt, and there was no questions to Officer Schillingberg that offered any contradictory testimony to the testimony that was issued in this case. Therefore, Mr. Page, I find you responsible of the civil infraction of speeding 11 to 15 over, and that has a fine of $130. Mr. Page, do you need time to pay?
I do.
Okay. How much? Can you pay in 30 days?
I mean, yeah, if I got on a payment plan.
All right. Well, would you rather pay something on a monthly basis? Can you pay $70 a month, $50 a month? Tell me what you can.
50 is good.
50 a month.
Yeah.
All right, they'll send you notice of the payment plan. Are you in Hidden Lane still?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Page, you'll receive notice of that in the mail.
All right. Yeah, Judge Shackelford seemed a little off. Is it just me? She was kind of quiet, wasn't as animated as usual. She let the sovereign citizen actually talk. Like, yeah, go ahead, make your record. I'm just gonna sit here and listen and then rule at the end of it. That's not usually her style. Usually she'll just be like, nope, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Anyways, sovereign citizen. That's how we're gonna start the night off. All right. Now we're jumping down to Texas. We have Judge Garcia, and I've got a couple matters in front of her. She had a couple good ones today. So yeah, let's go, Judge. Wixom. I wanted to answer your question, Wixom. Wixom. I actually probably could have answered this in my earlier pause because I don't have an update. I absolutely forgot to look today. I was on the hunt for a sovereign citizen follow-up. The clip that I teased last night, I had myself ready and prepared for his appearance today, which he came. Well, kind of. But yeah, so I'm going to make that video over the weekend and release it either Sunday or Monday. We'll see when I finish it. But I forgot to look. So I've already made a note. So I'm going to make sure I look before the next time I see you guys. So like I said, tomorrow night I'll be on Team Skeptic stream with him. Then Sunday night I'm taking off. So yeah, Monday I'll put a note up, or I'll make a community post. There we go. That's the best way to do it. I'll make a community post when I find the answer for you. Okay, Judge Garcia, let's go.
Andrew Stiles. On it.
It's technically the same case. So when he was in front of Judge Simpson, he's charged with a felony. So Judge Simpson doesn't have jurisdiction to decide felonies. Now he can do the preliminary exams, which is what happened. So he held the preliminary exam, and then once the state proved probable cause, they moved it up to circuit court. So once he gets to circuit court, they essentially refile the charges. He had his arraignment on those charges yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, right? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. So it's the same case, but now he's in front of the circuit court judge. He's in front of Judge Slay, and Judge Slay doesn't do YouTube anymore. So I'm gonna have to find other ways to get information for you guys.
All right, go ahead, DPS.
Okay, Mr. Stiles was driving while licensed and valid back on September 17 of 2023. He failed to signal. His license at that moment was denied from July 1st, 2023 till December 27, 2023 for a ALR suspension. As of right now, his license is not eligible. He has FTAs. He has a mandatory suspension till January 29th of 2026. He needs release for the interlock. And then he has 2 reinstatement fees.
And say that again with the interlock?
Yeah, I agree, Jojo. I agree. I miss her on YouTube as well. I want to point this out. The lady okay, so you guys see Judge Garcia on the bottom, and then on the top, the defendant's on the right. The lady on the left, she might be an attorney, I don't know, but she's a representative of the DMV, the Secretary of State, whatever it's called in Texas. They'll probably say it here shortly, but they actually have a representative there of their drivers, DMV, whatever. I think that's awesome. So instead of the court being like, I don't know, like you have to go to the DMV is there. They're reading the charges off, and you're everyone in this court is here for traffic violations, mainly because their licenses are suspended. So it's almost like an Operation Drive, like Judge Meineke has. It's not that. They just tell you what you need to do to get your license. They're not going to help you do it though. But I think it's really cool that they do this. It makes things a lot more clean.
He is required to either have an interlock or the release from the judge.
What's going on, Mr. Andrews?
Some bad decisions in the past and
So what's going on with the interlock? Why haven't you gotten that set up or gotten it taken care of one way or the other?
I just
Making more bad decisions?
no, I just I went to a DPS office a month or 2 ago and I was trying to get some help or some direction and trying to get driving privileges back.
Yeah, the guy just said DPS, and right when he said it, I'm like, that's what it is. So she's a representative of the DPS. Again, I don't know if she's an attorney. She might be, or she might just be a representative. That's just someone that works for them that comes to represent them in court. I don't know, but again, I think it's awesome.
And
That's kind of why I'm here today, just taking the next step.
but you haven't called the court that issued the interlock?
No, I just completed my probation in Bear County and I've been getting rides to work and kind of been
That's not what I
surviving.
asked you. You have an interlock that needs to be put on or dismissed by the judge.
Right.
Why haven't you taken care of that?
I just haven't, I haven't been driving, I've been surviving.
I understand, but that was part of your probation. You don't get a choice to ignore it or not ignore it, or just because you're not driving. The judge put you on an interlock. So if you don't have a vehicle, then guess what? They have a portable interlock that you can carry around that you have to blow in every so often. Or you have to get in contact with the court if you've completed your probation for them to release you from the interlock. But you need to do something because it's pending and you're not going to get a license until then. And on top of that, you owe a bunch of tickets to Universal City. Have you even taken care of those? Have you even gone to Universal City? Have you even seen a judge there?
Those are all paid off.
They're all paid off. Okay. So let me double check because do you see where they're paid off or no? No, right? Okay. You have proof that you paid them off?
Not with me, not
When did you pay them off?
last month.
I ran this week on Tuesday.
Did they say Judge Boyd? I know he said probation, but did they say Judge Boyd? I didn't hear her name get dropped. But I miss every other word. Half deaf. That's my excuse.
You paid them off when?
Last month,
How did you pay them off?
I went into the
No. How? Cash, card, what?
combination of cash and card.
Okay, so you used a card, so I'm assuming you have your bank app on your phone, right? Okay, you can't get to your bank app and show me where you City of Universal City took out money?
Right now?
Well, that would be helpful.
Yeah, at some point I'll find it. I just,
Well, if it was a month ago, it shouldn't be that hard to find. You just go back 30 days.
see. Here's one. It's 502. That's $502. That's
Yeah, this is something you don't want to do when you're going to court. Have the judge analyzing your bank records. He has his bank app open and she's just going through
How
it
many
looking at it
tickets
right
did
now.
you have in Universal City?
I want to say 4.
Because they're still showing 4 tickets, but I have a payment of 500. So did you have another ticket that you paid off with this 500 and that's still, and then left you 4 tickets?
No, yeah,
Because they're showing 4 tickets pending in Universal City. I see a receipt for Universal City, but I don't know if that's for the tickets or if it's to pay your water, light. I don't know. It shows that you're paying Universal City $500, but I don't know what it's for. It doesn't give me the details.
right.
And if you paid $500, you need to see where it's going because you still show 4 active tickets in Universal City right now. So I don't know if that 500 went to pay an additional 5th ticket and left you with 4 because that was paid in January.
Right.
We're now in April.
Right.
So that would have already went through. So this is valid, what you have right now. You have 4 tickets in Universal City open. And you're at almost $2,000. It's still owed in Universal City.
Well, I need to go talk to them. Yes.
You might want to. Yes, sir. All right. TPS, do you have any recommendations?
He's not eligible. He won't be eligible until January 29th of 2026. So we can probate him. It's either negative or affirmative.
Well. When are you gonna meet for the interlock?
I've never pursued that. I had the portable monitor, not in the car, but like you said, the handheld. I had that it was going on 3 years and I just got that removed, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago.
And where is that paperwork that gets you off of that interlock?
I have proof of it.
Where?
Well, I feel a little unprepared today, but I just,
So you have a piece of paper from your probation officer that's releasing you from that interlock.
somewhere I do, yeah. You know what?
Yeah, when it takes you that long to answer a question, no, you don't, man. No, you don't. You completely absconded from that interlock. Yeah, that's not going to go well. You're going to get in trouble for that, man. You can't just go. You can't get around it.
Mr. Andrews, I'm resetting this case for 30 days. You need to get your stuff together. You are a grown adult. I want a piece of paper releasing you from that interlock. I want to see that you have made payments to Universal City and see where you're at after that. Otherwise, I will suspend your license for even longer than the mandatory suspension.
Okay.
So get your stuff together and figure out what you need to do and do it and bring everything back. Do you understand?
Understand that?
Okay.
That's what I'm.
30 days. Interlock paperwork, payments from Universal City.
Hold on, your failure to appear.
Right.
That here is all your suspensions. And then your reinstatement.
all that needs to be taken care of.
Information that you could go to the website and get, but as a favor.
Yeah, Judge Garcia doesn't. She doesn't. I'm not going to say she doesn't care about whatever's going on with this interlock and probation, but it's not in front of her. It's not in her jurisdiction. All she's there to do is deal with his traffic tickets that are unpaid. So that's she. Yeah, I don't. It's not like she's gonna call Judge Boyd and be like, "Hey, you got to check on this dude." I mean, she might, but she's not going to say anything about it right now.
And to let you know what you need to do, I brought it to you.
Thank you.
See you in 30 days. Good luck. Stanley Smith.
All right, before we actually hear from Mr. Stanley Smith, Lone Wolf messaged me. He did the work on the update for our friend Mr. Magoo. So he had his arraignment, and his pretrial is scheduled for the 10th of April, and he is still pro se. So, do I drive up there on the 10th? Do I do it, guys? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, DPS, good morning, or mid-morning, I think now.
We're here with Mr. Smith. He was driving while licensed and valid. It's back from July 16, 2016. He got a ticket in Missouri. At that moment, his license had been suspended from 2007 to 2017. As of right now, his license is eligible and it's going to expire in 2031.
Mr. Smith, do you have anything to say or add?
2016, that's all.
Yeah, I don't know. Lone Wolf sent me the update on. I don't know if Lone Wolf told me the time. No, he didn't say the time. He did send me the link to check it out. So, Wissam, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what time.
Some time ago. Be honest with you, I don't know what occurred on that day. I don't remember. However, I do know that in 2007, due to speeding tickets, and I had a seatbelt ticket for my child who took a seatbelt off when I got pulled over. And anyways, I had too many tickets. I couldn't pay them. And they told me that I would not be able to renew my license. So I didn't renew my license. And then we moved out of state, and I was no longer a resident of Texas. And then I'm not sure what on that 2016 date, but I was living in Missouri at the time. And I had made arrangements in 2017 to pay all my tickets off, and I did get them all taken care of. And then I reissued, got my Missouri license redone, took all the tests, passed everything.
You have a Texas license or just?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay.
And in 2023, well, in 2018, I moved back to Texas because my wife's job moved back to Texas. So in 2023, I finally was able to get my Texas license back.
Okay. And it's a regular Class C?
Yes.
Okay. And where do you work at right now?
I'm retired, actually.
Okay. Okay.
My wife and I do work a little bit. I work at Traders on weekends, and I drive there back and forth.
And I
It could be worse. He could be living in Mississippi. I said that for one specific person, and he's about to chime up real quick.
see you haven't gotten anything since then, not too many tickets. Correct me if I'm wrong, DPS, I think.
Correct.
I think that might have been the last one. All right. So what I'm gonna do, Mr. Smith, is I'm gonna go ahead and put you on is 60 days, 90? 90, okay. 90-day probation, just as long as you don't get a ticket within 90
What I
days.
don't understand is how come DPS here in Texas is intervening on a
Because we're
Missouri.
compact states. Whatever affects you in one state affects you in another state.
Okay, but I didn't have a license here anymore.
But you were driving in Missouri without a license.
But then that should be Missouri's problem, not here,
Well,
right?
like you said, you moved back here, so you're living here now. So the states talk. So since you're not in Missouri, Missouri's not going to pursue it. Texas is going to pursue it because you're living here now.
That's not fair.
I'm sorry, I don't. make the
Missouri should
rules.
take their responsibility and do their bit part in the.
Then you can write your legislation, sir. Again, I'm not making fun of you and I'm not trying to put you down. I'm seriously, that's the only thing I can tell you is write your legislation. I don't make the rules. I just have to enforce them.
Well, I've done everything, other than that incident, and if I remember correctly, that incident that was on in 2016, my niece was stranded at midnight in a town, and she had no way to get home, and I was her only option. And when I was going there, I was scared for her.
And I believe you had all the right reasons, but again, what if something would have happened and you didn't have a license? You shouldn't be driving. What if you got into an accident, then you would have been responsible for that accident.
Well, I know, and I understand all that.
So
And I would have held up to my responsibilities.
I understand.
I'm not gonna say I wouldn't.
All right, Mr. Smith, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you on 90 days probation. You shouldn't have a problem. You haven't gotten a ticket in years, so just don't get a ticket within 3 months. As long as you don't get a ticket within 3 months, this case will be dismissed. You will have free range on your license on both states, so you shouldn't have any issues, okay?
Good.
All right, if you could just sign that paper for her.
Sign it here.
That's the probation paperwork. If you want, you can have a seat and read it. You're more than welcome to read that paperwork that you're signing.
Will I get a copy of this?
Yes. Margaret Ruiz,
You can have a signature. Where do I sign?
Right here.
you don't have to rush. If you want to read it, you can have a seat.
Want to read it?
No, make sure I get a copy of it though, with my signature on it.
Well, why would we give you a copy without it?
I'm just saying, I don't know what you guys give, so
Yes, we give you exactly what you signed. We're not trying to hide anything from you.
I give you copies and you don't have your signature.
No,
on it,
this
so.
will have, this is going to be exact copy of what you just signed.
Okay,
We won't
so-
alter it anyway. All right,
Go.
you're free to go. Have you have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you.
Come on up, Miss Ruiz. All right, go ahead, DPS.
Okay, we're here with Ms. Fries. She was involved in an accident on April 29th of 2024. Ms. Fries had no insurance. She turned right on a red light and crashed into Unit 2. The damages were estimated at $6,013 with 20 cents. The license is going to expire on November 4th of 2033.
Miss Ruiz, what is going on?
Yes, ma'am, good morning.
Morning.
That morning, it was still morning, that day of the, car accident. As I was turning, I had the right of turn, because I was turning right. And so I didn't crash anybody. They hit me. I don't know what the police report says. I haven't went to go get it yet. So at that point,
You
I
have
had-
not gone to get your police report,
I have not gone to go
and
get
it's
it.
been a year? This
I
was in
guess.
April 29th of 2024. Why haven't you gone to get the police report if you think you're in the right?
Okay, well, 3 months after the crash, I started getting these letters from the people that they were gonna suspend my driver license from DPS. At that point, I still had another letter from DPS saying that I was eligible, but then that it was gonna end. So when I went to DPS on New Braunfels Street, they told me that I was not eligible at the time. So then I started emailing the website from DPS, and apparently they had a glitch. So something was going on. I emailed them repeatedly, and then I even called Austin, the 512 number, and never got a phone call back. So they finally fixed that glitch, and that's when they were able to get a hold of me barely this year, barely in January, I think. January, something, the beginning of this year. So they apologized for the glitch. They said that they were having on. It happened between December and January, the glitch that I'm talking about.
So that's
And
only 2 months.
Right. So they got a hold of me, and they went ahead and made my driver license eligible. I went and got my driver license. Also, I
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have picked up on this, but this traffic court is usually who tells the best story, who has the best excuse, and who's lying. That's her entire docket. I think it was 2.5 hours long, and I picked 4 cases out of the 2.5 hours. This was a full courtroom when it started, and it's just yeah, it's just, oh, they're all adults too. Got to remember that.
I didn't think, when I got pulled over, we pulled over, the car hit me, we pulled over, the cop just, called me to him one time. And so he just asked me, he just verified who I was. And he asked me, he looked up my truck and I did not have insurance that morning. I had an emergency that morning to go pick up my grandkids.
Yeah, I don't care what your reason was.
I understand. I understand. I was,
'Cause this is now the situation you're in.
yes. Okay, so I didn't think, I mean, I have to see what the report says. I mean, it's,
Well,
you're
ma'am,
telling me,
at this point, you're a year later. It is, that time frame has passed.
right?
And you arguing to the court who's it's at fault. You're saying it on deaf ears. I can't do anything. The police have already determined it's your fault.
Yes,
It's a year later. And not only that, Ms. Ruiz, this is an ongoing thing with you in insurance. This isn't the first time.
right.
So I don't know what your issue is that you cannot comprehend, that you cannot drive without insurance. And
Right.
it seems to be a big problem for you because I'm looking at your driving record
Yes,
and it's over 7 pages long. Insurance, 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 surcharges, surcharges, insurance.
yes.
What is the problem that you cannot comprehend that you cannot drive without insurance? Why, what is it that you can't get insurance?
I can't afford it at the time.
Okay, but do you understand the concept that you can't afford insurance, but yet you go get into an accident and now you have almost a $7,000 bill that if you couldn't afford your monthly insurance, how are you going to afford this? It makes no sense when people say they can't have insurance, they can't afford it, but yet they put themselves in a vehicle and put themselves in a situation that they can't get out of because I needed to go somewhere. I needed to do something. Okay, that doesn't give you the right to just get in the car. Just because I need to get to work doesn't mean I get to break every law to get to work.
That's right. And Your Honor, with all respect, I didn't hit anybody. They came and hit me.
Well,
And
again,
when
that's on deaf ears. I can't argue with whose fault it is at this point. You're a year later. You never even went to go get the police report.
Right,
So you telling me that it's not your fault? That means absolutely nothing to me because I can't change it. I don't have the authority to change it.
right. And you're asking me what took me a whole year to go get it. I was taking care of my mother, Your Honor, and I just buried her this past Tuesday. And I have paperwork of everything.
No, I believe it. I'm just trying to tell you that this is an ongoing thing with you and insurance. So you're lucky that this is only the first time you've been here because this has been going on since 2004 with no insurance.
I didn't know what to do after the accident. I didn't know like to get a lawyer or not. I couldn't afford one. But now that when their insurance called me, they did get a hold of me and they only called me one time and they asked me about the accident and I told them it might have been a red light that I didn't recall. The accident happened so fast, but she didn't even let me finish, the lady from the insurance. And so she hung up. She said, okay, but she was saying that I passed the red light. I wasn't saying me. I was saying the other person. But she hung up on me right away. So she assumed that it was my fault, their insurance. So I'm
DPS,
assuming
that
that's where
letter
it's coming from.
for the arrangement.
The paper?
Mhm.
Yes.
So DPS is going to give you a letter that you need to call to set up for payment arrangements, or let me rephrase that. You've got 60 days to come back with down payment and a payment arrangement made, or a letter from your insurance stating that they're covering the car. Either one, because you're saying it's not your fault.
Right.
Then you better pick up the phone, start calling your insurance and start figuring it out. Okay? Let the insurance take care of it. They're going to ask you for all kinds of proof. They're going to look at your history. If you made payments on that day, everything. So I want a dismissal letter from your insurance stating that they're covering it, or a payment plan that you're going to pay for. Those are your only 2 options at this point.
So I'm late to get a lawyer to try to fix this accident for me.
No, I mean, you can always get an attorney at any given time. We got legal aid out there in the hallway. You can always give them a call. They're income based. You might be able to afford it based on your income.
Okay.
But for this court, you've got 60 days. So if you're going to get an attorney, I assume you start doing it like yesterday.
Okay, I don't know if you would be able to.
No, she's trying to say the accident wasn't her fault, so she shouldn't have to pay for this. So she didn't have insurance, but she was cited by the police for the cause of the accident. So she didn't fight that, and it's been a year old. So yeah, I'm gonna assume that you can't, overturn a ticket a year later for traffic. I mean, I don't know, especially in Texas, but yeah. I think that ship has sailed.
To take into consideration that at this point, I do have a medical release from my physician. I don't have a job because of this.
That has no bearing on me. I'm sorry. But the person you hit didn't get a chance either. They got stuck with the bill.
I didn't hit them.
Okay. Again, I'm going by the facts that I have. You should have argued that a year ago.
Taking care of my mom.
I get that, ma'am. But if you tell the insurance that, what are they going to do? That doesn't excuse you, ma'am, from your responsibilities. I understand that you were taking care of your mom, but it takes one phone call to pick up while you're in the room taking care of your mother. It's not like you have to go anywhere. Okay, so I'm giving you 60 days to figure it out. I don't know what you're going to do. You have every right to hire an attorney and fix it, but you got 2 months to figure it out. Okay, because you've already had a year. All right, so I can only give you 60 days. Okay.
Okay.
So there's a number to call if you want to set up an arrangement. If before you call that number, you want to go get the police report and get a hold of your insurance, you might want to do that first, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Ms. Ruiz.
Paper in the mail
Hmm?
for the
Yes, you'll get it.
All right. We got one more in front of Judge Garcia. I want to show something. Somebody what? Sorry, I got sidetracked in the comments. Somebody said the DMV, the DPS, they suck. I got a meme for you, and I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share the meme because it fits perfectly. Here we go. I think you guys will enjoy this. It's good, right? It's fitting. It's fitting. I thought you would enjoy it. All right. Back to the video.
In the mail. Yes, ma'am. Marlon Reyes? Yeah, you're free to go. You don't have to sign anything.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Marlon Reyes. We're doing affirmative finding. Marlon Reyes again. Affirmative finding. Alejandro?
Miss, I'm right here, Marlon Avitia Reyes.
Okay. Well, you can give me 1 minute because I already
Yes,
called.
ma'am. I just didn't know how to hit the mic. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'll give me 1 minute, okay?
Yes,
I'll call
ma'am.
you next. All right, Mr. Alejandro, give me 1 minute. Go ahead, DPS.
Okay, he was driving while license invalid back on April 27th of 2016. He got a speeding ticket. His license had been denied from October 5th of 2005 all the way through January 19th of 2017 because of surcharges. As of right now, his license is not eligible. It expired back on May 18th of 2023, and he has FTAs.
Mr. Alejandro, what's going on?
I don't even know why I'm here. I've been paying off my tickets. My license expired 2 years ago. And so I was paying off my tickets so I could try to get my license before the 2 years are up. And I went to Alamo Heights, paid off some tickets there. And then Universal City, they wouldn't even let me talk to the judge until I paid off the tickets.
Oh, yeah, Universal City don't
So I
play.
paid off the tickets and then I get a letter saying that I gotta come here now.
Okay, because just like I said before, you just pay these tickets off, they're convictions.
So they wanted me to pay them off before I go to the judge. And if I'm paying them off, then why am I gonna talk to the judge now?
Well, with that attitude, this is why you're here.
I know it.
And so right now you still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tickets still pending. When are they going to be paid off?
Which ones are those?
Precinct 1 in Bexar County, $409. City of San Antonio, $303. City of San Antonio, $127. Universal City, $416. Universal City, $400.
No, I paid those off, and the other ones I'm doing community service for right now.
What other ones?
The ones on Frio.
And what about precinct 1 and 2?
Precinct 1, she wants a paper from the guy that sold, because there was a truck that I got pulled over. She asked me if I still had it. I said no. So she wants a receipt proving that the guy that bought it off of me. I have the receipt there. I just haven't turned it into her.
Okay, and can I see proof that you paid off Universal City?
No, I don't have it with me.
So as of right now, it's still active. Okay. I'm gonna reset this 60 days. You have 60 days to pay all these tickets off.
Oh, I don't, Universal City, I'm on a payment plan over there. I pay $127 a month.
Well, so then they're not paid off.
No, I'm in the payment plan right now. For the next
Didn't you
6
just
months.
say you paid them off in Universal
Oh, I
City?
don't know. Universal City, I paid all those off. It's like $907. I paid it all off at
Okay,
once.
so which one is it? You just told me you were on a payment plan. Which
Alamo
one is it?
Heights has been on a payment plan right now.
I haven't even said nothing about Alamo Heights.
Universal City, I paid them all off in cash. Rolled them out through with an ATM card 2 months ago. It was $900 and something.
You come back in 60 days. I want proof that you have no tickets in Universal City. I want the City of San Antonio paid off or your community service done. And I want you to have gone to precinct 1 and turned in whatever you need
Will I
to
be able
turn
to
in.
get my license then?
Well, it depends what you bring me back in 60 days.
Okay.
So the ball's in your court, not mine. Okay, 60-day reset. Brenda?
All right. All right. We're done with Judge Garcia. I enjoyed that docket today, so I was just showing you some of the clips from her. Yeah, I like Judge Garcia. All right, where are we going? Oh, we're coming to Ohio, my hometown state. Let's go, Ohio. I don't remember this judge's name off the top of my head. This might be the first time I put him on my channel. I don't know. It might be. But this one's kind of fun. It's kind of charming. Let's call this one, we can call this one the feel-good clip of the evening. I think that could be fair. It's not going to make you feel better. So maybe feel-good is not the right word. But it's not going to make you feel worse. How about that? And this isn't like a high drama situation. It's just going to make you like this judge a lot. That's I guess that's what I'm saying. This is a good judge. You'll see why.
The heroes. All right, Sierra Ball.
All right, Judge Stansbury. Stansbury. I don't know. No, it's not the Screaming Judge. That is Iroki. He's in Conneaut. And then there's Judge Spicy. He's he's up by Cleveland. I never remember where he is. He's something like somewhere by the lake though, somewhere by Lake Erie. This is it. What is it? I don't remember. But no. This is yeah. Let's just play.
Swell, come on up. You understand your rights in court today? May I have your rights form, please? Excellent, thank you. You're here because I issued a warrant for your arrest in January when you didn't make it for your trial. How come you didn't make it to your trial?
I still thought I had a few months. I'm not even gonna lie. And then how I got this warrant, like.
Yeah, well, when you didn't show up for the trial, that's when I issued the warrant, then you got picked up on the warrant. I set an OR bond on it, so basically they arrested you, released you, and said you have to be in court on tomorrow.
I was never arrested, sir.
Well, they processed the
That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Grizzly.
warrant, it looks like.
I was staying at a friend's house. I literally got off work. I went to bed over there. I got up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was like, I was staying at her house. There was like a big old altercation, like a lady was on the ground and everything. So I called the cops. I called the ambulance and everything, and they ran my name and then told me I had a warrant. They're like, we're not gonna arrest you. You just need to show up at this date. I said, okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought I had 2 more months.
Well, here's the deal. We sent you notice when you signed off on your first bond paperwork. You gave us the 205 South 5th Street address.
Yes.
We sent you notice of the hearing to 205 South 5th Street on January the 2nd, telling you to be here on January the 14th. When you didn't show up, that's when I issued the warrant for your arrest. It does not appear that the letter came back to us, so I'm not sure what happened there. But you have two options here, since your case is assigned to me. One, you can stand on your pleas of not guilty, in which case I'll just continue your recognizance bond and we'll set a new court date. Or, if you want to just resolve this today, you can change your plea from not guilty to guilty or no contest. Now, you're charged with speeding. That's a minor misdemeanor. Failure to use a turn signal, also a minor misdemeanor. Each of those carries up to a $150 fine. You're also charged with driving without a valid driver's license. That's an unclassified misdemeanor. Still no jail time possible, but the fine is more. It could be up to $1,000. Your right to apply for a license can be suspended for up to 1 year on that charge. So, do you understand that that's what the charges are? That's what the penalty.
Absolutely. This is absolutely the judge that that Karen was name dropping. Good memory, Foz. Good memory.
Penalties are, and those are maximum possible, not necessarily what you would get. Do you want to resolve it today by changing your pleas from not guilty to guilty or no contest, or do you want to stand on your not guilty pleas and come back?
What do I do?
He didn't go to law school. Don't ask him.
I'm gonna start crying.
Don't cry. I'm out of Kleenex.
Sorry. I guess I'll resolve it today.
Okay. Do you want to change it to guilty or to no contest?
Yes.
Guilty. Okay. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but I have to make sure you're doing this of your own free will. Number one, you are presumed to be not guilty. Number two, it's always the prosecution's burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt before a person can be convicted. Understand? And number three, you have a right to a trial with me, but down to jury. Okay? If you plead guilty, you admit that you were speeding, didn't use your turn signal, and I lied. I have Kleenex, but quit crying.
I'm trying.
You're not going to jail, all right?
It's not about that.
Okay. You'll give up your right to a trial. They won't have to prove anything. I'll just impose the fines and we'll be done. Is that what you want to do? Okay. And are you a citizen of the United States?
I am.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about what happened back in December when you were driving?
I do not.
Okay. Do you work?
I do.
What do you do?
I work at McDonald's and I'm in the middle of going and working at Home Health.
Okay. Which
Hospice.
McDonald's do you work at?
30th Street.
30th Street. And how long have you been working there?
About 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay. So you just started. All right.
Heather!
Not unless you went to law school. Sorry. Okay. So this was your first ever ticket, huh?
Yeah, boyfriend needs to stop. I don't know why boyfriend keeps trying to talk. Not gonna work. And the judge is polite about it. He's just like, no, you can't, and just moves on. Just doesn't explain why. He's like, no, sorry, man. Well, he does explain why. He said, you're not a lawyer. You can't.
Yeah. Well, you get the driver's license, and then you can drive around and you can get pulled over again, and you can get another ticket someday.
So why exactly, when you gave me this form, you didn't arrest me?
Because I set the bond as a recognizance.
Oh.
If I had set a cash or surety bond, like let's say this was a first-degree misdemeanor and I set a $5,000 bond on it, they would have taken you to the jail where they would have explained to you that you could post that bond to be released, but if you weren't able to post the bond, then you'd be held until the next day when you'd see me or the other judge. The reason they went ahead and just had you sign off on the
I
paperwork.
thought they were trying to be nice because I was helping people.
Oh, well, I mean, they were doing their job, and it was nice of you to help people, all right? Okay. Let's see, you were going 20 over, so that's $34. So $34 on the speeding ticket. Going rate for a driving without a valid license is $150, and the turn signal, that's what, 6 months in jail?
At least.
Kidding. How about $5?
You guys are gonna make me have a heart attack.
Okay, so here's what happens next. She's going to take you down to the clerk's office. They're going to explain to you how much it's going to be total. But we're going to give you time to pay, and they'll explain to you how you can go about making payments. And
I get paid Saturday. I can pay this.
hey, I'll take your money sooner rather than later. All right. But the main thing is stay out from behind the wheel until you have a valid driver's license. Okay. All right. And I did your arraignment.
That's just the fine for the ticket. So that's not including court costs. So if that's the only thing she was cited for, she would still be walking out with, like $100 and something ticket. So that's just the fine separated from everything else. It just the way that he listed it off, it sounded like extremely cheap, which, it still is. It still is 20 over at $34. Phil, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. That is very generous of you, Phil. And welcome to the 10 new members. Thank you, Phil.
Back in the day, and I marked off that insurance proof had been shown. Whether it had been or not, I don't know, but I didn't want you to end up getting a suspension from the Bureau for that because you didn't have an accident. So other than you paying your fines and your costs, this is over now, okay? See, wasn't that painless?
Yeah, but you're still scary.
I'm scary?
She scared me earlier. She's like, we gotta turn this camera. I'm like, why are we doing that?
Yeah. Well, we go to scariness training, and it's usually about once every 6 weeks. And, you know, if we get closer to each 6 weeks, we catch ourselves being nicer and nicer. So we got to go back and learn how to be mean again. All right. You gonna be all right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, take us off the record.
All right. Yeah, I thought that was charming. I did. Yeah, he handled it really well. Yeah, she was scared. She was crying, and then now she's like kind of giddy, kind of laughing. Completely changed her mood. Now, yeah, I keep getting squirreled by the chat. I keep reading something like that's something someone says, and it stops my train of thought. Anyways, that's it, guys. That's it. That's it for tonight's video. I really like this judge. I'm gonna be watching more of him. I watched him in a trial this week, and it ended up being really long. So I don't know if I'm gonna play it. It wasn't really that interesting. I just really liked this judge. So he kept me engaged and watching. Just I don't know. I just like him. All right, guys, that's it. Let's get set up to raid somebody. I did not set that up yet. Who we gonna raid? Who we gonna raid? Most likely Lone Wolf. Yep, Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf it is. Okay. We're raiding Lone Wolf tonight. Please go over there. Tell him I said hello. He was already here. We've already all said hi to him, but now we get to go watch him do his thing. Thank you guys so much for the gifted memberships, the membership milestones. You guys are awesome. Remember, tomorrow night I will be on Team Skeptic stream. We don't have a time for that yet. Skeptic is we're doing something for Chuck. It's gonna be something for Chuck. So Skeptic was gonna talk to Chuck tonight and figure out a time to do it. So it's gonna be I'm gonna be up there. I don't know if I'll be up there the whole time, but I'll at least be up there for part of it. So please stop by Team Skeptics Live tomorrow night and yeah, hang out with us. And then Sunday night is gonna be date night, so I'm taking Sunday night off. And then I'll see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend if I don't see you tomorrow. And yeah, don't do anything dumb. You don't want to end up on my channel. I think that's it. Until next time, bye.